Sa gitna po ng mga krisis, aksidente at mga kalamidad, ang Advanced Capabilities Training, Humanitarian Aid and Disaster Response ay nagbibigay po ng mga kritikal na kasanayan at kaalaman sa mga individual upang maging handa at epektibo sa pagharap sa mga hamon na dala po ng mga hindi ka nais-nais na sitwasyon.
Kung kaya't kaugnay niyan, ay makakausap po natin ngayong umaga si Mr. Carlo Gabriel Lacerna para bigyan tayo ng makahulugang impormasyon patungkol po sa usapin na ito. Magandang umaga po at welcome po sa Rise and Shine Pilipinas.
Good morning. Good morning, Carlo. Alright, pag sinabi ba natin humanitarian aid and disaster response, ano ba ang mga components nito at bakit mahalaga na alam ito ng bawat tao?
So, yung company namin is Durago Readiness Group that's based in the US. So, we provide a lot of these training capabilities to first responders sa US. So, we're here actually to provide yung training na yun to first responders here in the Philippines. And that includes medicine, disaster medicine, tactical medicine, a lot of the specialty medicine outside of the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Well, veterano ka, no? Naging Navy ka
Yes,
sa
opo.
Amerika. At
10 years.
Kasama
10 years.
ang isa sa mga challenges sa buhay niya, yung pinadala siya sa Afghanistan.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Ngayon, itong training na ito, ano ba yung magiging kabuluhan ito sa pangkaraniwang tao?
So, itong mga devices na to, they were developed by the US military to help save lives in the battlefield. So, ngayon, these devices are now commercially available for everybody, ordinary Filipinos and ordinary citizens, that they can buy this to help prevent yung massive bleeding or death from massive bleeding. So, we can see those massive bleeding injuries from machinery incidents or motorcycle incidents or vehicle incidents. And these devices actually help save lives.
Okay, halimbawang may malaki kang sugat, tapos patuloy labas ng dugo. Okay, so paano?
Dapat kailangan na meron ka nito, keep it handy on your
That's
pocket
right.
siguro, para ma-stop yung bleeding.
Or
Kasi
sa
time is
sasakyan.
really of the essence. Alright, before we do a demo, kung paano tayo makapag-save ng buhay sa mga may aksidente yung mangyayari, meron kayong partnership with the Philippine Army. Tell us more about that.
Right, my company is here to provide yung advanced capabilities training to support the Philippine Army's humanitarian assistance and disaster response mission. So we're here providing yung training for them so that they can respond. And the unit that's benefiting yung training namin are the ones that deployed in Turkey and possibly all over the world. So we're providing them these advanced training so that they can help be a world-class first responding unit.
Okay. Sige, tuturuan tayo ngayon
Alright.
ni Carlo kung paano ba gamitin ang ganitong
Okay,
gamit.
Sir Carlo, ano po ba muna yung tatlong yan? Ano po ang gamit niyan?
So this is called the SAM XT tourniquet. That's the actual name ng tourniquet na to. This helps prevent massive bleeding or death from massive bleeding. So you apply it to the limb. This one I'll show you. Meron siyang positive feedback, audible feedback, and you'll hear the little click.
Okay.
That means it's tight, but it's not tight enough, so you really have to tighten the windlass. And yung windlass na to, this actually is the mechanism that helps stop the bleeding. Usually you do about 2, maybe 3 revolutions, and then once you've seen the bleeding has stopped,
Dito yung sugat. Dito yung
So nasa
nagsusugat.
lower leg
so
yung
lower body. So
sugat.
this could be a massively bleeding injury or traumatically amputated, meaning putol na siya, or merong malaking injury there. And your only visual reference is pag nag-stop na yung bleeding. If the bleeding has not stopped, that means this is not tight enough.
So isang ikot pa.
Isang ikot pa. And it's really tight. Sometimes they say this tourniquet is much more painful than the actual injury.
Okay.
Once you're secure, you secure the windlass clip, and then that's it. And once you stop the bleeding,
Okay, question. What
Opo.
if mas lower pa yung injury? Halimbawa nandito ang injury, saan ikakabit?
so meron na ngayong science that says you can actually put the tourniquet on 2 bone compartments. This is a single bone compartment, and then you have a 2 bone compartment sa lower leg. The only rule of thumb is don't put it on the joint, sa knee. But other than that, you can put it up above the knee or below the knee to stop the massive bleeding. But you never put it on the injury itself or dun sa knee, sa joint.
Parang gusto ko matesting kung
Yes,
gano'n
sir.
Okay.
gusto
Meron
gano'n
tayong
siya kahigpit.
meron tayong someone here na pwede nating lagyan siguro nito kasi baka kung sa'yo ko ilalagay baka masaktan ka.
Baka di na ako makalakad.
Sige, let's try. Pero yung mga, kumare, wala kang ganitong kind of device. Pwede ba yung mga improvised?
Pwede rin. The improvised tourniquets, you can use a cravat or sometimes a belt. Ang importante is you have to have a mechanism that you can actually crank na
Okay.
Para
to keep it
mahigpitan
tight.
ng gusto.
Exactly.
Okay.
So kailangan itong windlass, and this is a windlass part ng device.
Sige. So ang pangalan ni Sir?
Mr. Elvis.
Okay,
Elvis,
sige, tayo
okay.
tayo. Kunwari, nagdudugo ang ganito ang arm niya dito sa may baba, no? So we have to stop the bleeding. Dito natin siya ilalagay, Carlo, tama ba?
Yes.
Ganyan.
Perfect.
Again, kunwari, ang bleeding nandito sa baba or nandito sa
Andito sa baba.
Andito sa baba.
Yes.
So, kailangan i-stop mo yung
isusuppress
bleeding.
natin yung blood flow mula sa taas.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Tama ba to, sir?
Closer to the heart, yes. And then you'll use this as a handle. And then you pull as hard as you can.
Okay.
Perfect. And then secure natin
Hindi ba
yung omni tape
mapuputol yung
dito.
kamay ni Sir?
Grabe.
And then you secure the omni tape dito. Yung Velcro.
Okay.
Diba? And then once that's secure, you tighten mo yung windlass.
Ayun.
And then the whole time you're watching for bleeding to stop dito sa
Okay,
below
so
the elbow.
kailangan tumigil yung pagdudugo dito. Kapag hindi pa tumitigil, isang ikot ka
Isang
pa,
ikot
no?
pa. Ah,
Para
okay.
ma-stop yung bleeding. Okay. Ikaw naman, Audrey.
Sige. Well, paano to nilalak ngayon? Another...
So, pa nandito na siya sa windlass clip, that's already locked, that's already secure.
Okay, secure
There's
na siya.
another clip here, just to secure, and that's secure already. So now, there's a thing that we call the kissing tourniquets. What if nag-fail yung isang tourniquet? What do we have to do? So kung may space ka ba between the tourniquet and to the heart, you put another tourniquet around it. So it's called kissing tourniquets kasi parang magkatabi sila.
dalawa.
So you can actually try this here. Kissing tourniquets, making sure na walang space between the two tourniquets.
Okay.
Put it in the slot. And then hawakan mo itong handle as windlass. And wait for the audible feedback, a click. Pull towards me,
Pull towards the other side.
towards me. And then engage mo yung omni tape dito.
Parang ayaw tumunog Parang malaki masyado yung braso ni Sir.
Oh.
Pull towards me like this. Yan. And then you secure the omni tape. And then yung windlass,
Okay.
iikot natin.
Ikot natin.
Ikot lang.
Pa right turn.
Just any which way. So makita mo may resistance, diba? Because you're actually working against the bone and the muscle.
Okay. Kaya pa
And
ba,
then-
Sir? Okay lang. Okay.
Secure natin sa windlass clip. And then all the way with the windlass clip. There you go.
Ayan.
And that's secure.
Okay.
And you're looking, the whole time you're looking for bleeding to stop from the elbow down. So yan yung tourniquet application using two different kinds of tourniquets.
So available na to sa commercial market dito sa Pilipinas?
Not yet. So I think the manufacturers are working to bring it here to the Philippines, which is why we're providing this training to first responders here in the Philippines.
So dapat siguro yung mga ordinaryong Pilipino kasi hindi mo rin alam kung kailan mangyayari isang aksidente, ang mga krisis, di ba? So maganda na meron tayong mga ganitong kasanayan na ma-apply mo when it comes sa mga ganitong situation.
Isasama mo sa ano, 'di ba? Meron tayong mga first aid kit sa
oo,
bahay, sa
correct.
kotse, or every time na magbabakasyon tayo or going
That's
anywhere, 'di ba? Kailangan meron tayo noon. So to stop the bleeding, yun na yung natutunan natin kay Sir. Ano pa po ito?
It's the same thing. It's a different color. Usually blue is training, so this is a training tourniquet. So anytime you see a blue tourniquet, it's designated for training.
Okay. Alright. So sa mga, kunwari, isa kang nasa isa kang sitwasyon na mayroong hindi ka nais-nais nangyari at meron na aksidente, siguro motor.
Right.
Marami nangyayari yung ganun mga motorcycle accident. Ano yung mga step-by-step na mga una mo dapat gagawin? Kasi minsan natataranta ka kapag ka mga ganung
That's right.
sitwasyon.
So the very first thing, call 911. I think it's 911 here. Back then, 11711 pa siya before. Pero call 911 para you can get help as soon as possible. And then, if it's massively bleeding, talagang it's nagdudugo, hold direct pressure to the injury. Hold it like it's your job, di ba? Hold it as firmly as possible. Pag hindi pa siya nag-stop and you have access to a tourniquet, you use the tourniquet the way we practice it today. And then you're looking for stopping the bleeding the whole time.
Okay, pero pwede rin yung ibang lubid ano, or anything na pwedeng mag-stop doon or
So the rule of thumb is it has to be at least 2 inches na material. So you can use a handkerchief and then a pen, di ba? That you can use for that. At least 2 inches of material.
Okay. So ano naman, yung mga sundalo natin mga Pinoy, nung naturuan sila, na-apply din kagad nila doon sa may training.
Yes, and that's why it may direct effect on saving lives in the battlefield or anywhere else. Because somebody can die in less than 2 minutes if you don't stop the massive bleeding sa arm.
Okay. Well, maraming salamat po sa pagbabahagi
Thank you.
sa
Thanks
amin ng
for having
mga handy skills na pwede rin po natin gamitin in times of disaster, crisis, and we'd like to thank you for teaching us, Carlo Gabriel Lacerna, at mabuhay ka. At kami ay proud sa iyo at ikaw isa yung Pilipino na tumutulong rin sa mga kapwa mo Pilipino dito sa
Maraming salamat, sir.
Maraming
Thanks, sir.
salamat.